The Hat Tricks have won 2 straight and are back home on home ice looking to make it 3 wins in as many games. One of the best nights of the year in Danbury hockey tonight, as we'll have the Ring of Honor ceremony as part of Alumni Night here at the DIA. For our entire production team, Patrick Grudberg, happy to be here again in Danbury. Hat Tricks finishing off their weekend back home after a road win in Watertown last night. A high-scoring 7-5 affair. Well, they were down multiple times during the game, including heading into the third period. Konstantin Chernyuk found 2 quick power play goals to start the third period. A couple more to finish it off, and that was enough to win the season series over Watertown. As the starting lineups are announced, we'll give you some context for this game. The third to last game of the 2025-2026 season. And unfortunately last night, despite the win, because Topeka won over Baton Rouge out in Kansas, the Hat Tricks are eliminated from playoff contention. Topeka clinched that 4th and final playoff spot in the Empire Division with 3 games to go in the season for the Hat Tricks. The Prowlers, a team that the Hat Tricks know very well from last year's playoffs, losing to Port Huron in 3 games in the first round in this arena. Getting close to 1-year anniversary of that series. Last time these guys faced off was back in mid-January. The Hat Tricks picked up their one and only win over Port Huron in the first game of that series, winning that one 3-2 on January 16th. They went on to lose the next game 1-3. And Port Huron leads the season series 5-1. We'll step aside for the national anthem and be back with more here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network. Lights are on, and we're almost ready to go here in Danbury. Hat Tricks come in at 20-24, 5-4, 73 points, and in 5th place in the Empire Division. They are locked into that 5th place spot. Port Huron, meanwhile, sits in 2nd place. They've clinched the number 2 seed, 100 points on the year, 29-17, 1-6. Coming off a 5-1 loss last night up in Binghamton. Both these teams playing in New York, having to travel back down. And into the center circle, our celebrity player of the night, Dave McIsaac. Mac, the former Danbury Trasher back in the early mid-2000s. We'll be talking about him. He'll get the start tonight, get a shift, maybe 2, in here against Port Huron. Dave McIsaac, 2 seasons with the Trashers from 2004 to 2006. Cambridge, Massachusetts native, 53 years young. He was the player assistant coach in his 2nd year with the Hat Tricks, and after that went on to coach multiple teams in this arena. First with the Mad Hatters in the 08-09 season, and then with the hat tricks in the 21-22 season. So he's been a part of now 5 different seasons of Danbury hockey, 2 with the Trashers, 1 with the Mad Hatters, 1 with the hat tricks as a coach, and now 1 game as a player for the hat tricks. As you see the jerseys the team is wearing tonight, pretty cool checkered theme. Kyle Penton, he'll get the start tonight after 2 games for Aiden Pierce between the pipes. Pierce, in his first 2 career starts, 2-0. Gave up 5 goals last night, but got the win. Of course, had that huge win last Saturday night against Binghamton. And for Port Huron, it's going to be Jamison Bork, the Ware, New Hampshire native, making his first start since March 19th, coming against the Sentinels, where Prowlers lost that one 1-4. Played 19 minutes last night in the loss to Binghamton. And they'll turn to him again, trying to split the weekend series and get something here, as we're only weeks away from the playoffs. Hat Tricks and Prowlers underway here in Danbury, live on the Hat Tricks Digital Network. Start with it in the defensive zone with Greg Sosinski. The Iron Man for the Hat Tricks has played every single game since joining the team in mid-December. He mans the first defensive pair with Konstantin Chernyuk. You see McIsaac out there, closest to the puck. Lays a hit along the boards. Some cheers from the fans. Sosinski navigating through pressure, now left circle, shot, glove save. McIsaac getting in there early. It looked like McIsaac was looking for a fight. He only knows he has a couple shifts in there. We'll trot back to the bench and have some words for Reggie Millette, and dropping the gloves. Millette not obliging, as number 3 skates back to the bench. Here he goes. We'll watch this play out now, as he was going to go back to the bench. Now he'll spend some time in the sin bin. Dave McIsaac allowed 30 seconds, excuse me. In his 2 seasons with the Trashers, Mac accumulated over 200 PIMs, 66 in his first season, that coming in only 9 games. And then 155 penalty minutes in his second season, where he was a captain for the Trashers as they lost in the UHL finals to Kalamazoo. Defensive zone draw for the Hat Tricks, lost now at the blue line with Larkin. Prowlers on the power play now, quick save from Penton. It spills over to the near boards. Larkin manning the left point now, pinching down. Swings it around the wall. Chernyuk with a stick first. Keeping it in is Larkin, one of these rookies from the college ranks that the Prowlers have brought in for their playoff push. We'll talk about them as the night goes on. Puck bouncing around low slot and eventually cleared. .40 through power play. Johnson surveys from the point. Down low with Hakala, circling. Now behind with Matt Graham. Lockhart trying to go left to right. It escapes the zone. And now a turnover. Joe Santoro slicing through centers. Trying to work something shorthanded. Zach Demaray with some hustle out there with the rookie Joe Santoro. Joined the team last month, signed from Post University, and trusted out there on the penalty kill. 32 seconds left on the 5-on-4. Johnson right circle, bumps it off the wall. Now back down along the half wall. Johnson centering pass, Hakala. Right along the goal line. Simonchik thrown around the body. Johnson, a lot of space in the corner up to the point. 8 seconds now before McIsaac leaves the box. Lockhart with a shot up high. Crom clears it, and that will do it for the first penalty kill. Hat tricks are 4th in the Fed on the PK, 83%. Caden Fennell now up with Frandudo. He'll spin it around. Millette. Shot blocked away. Alexander there with the shot. Reggie Millette leads the team in points per game. They'll cycle it deep with Price. Now a giveaway. Frandudo lays off for Rupsov. Frandudo didn't play last night, back in the lineup. On the second line with Santoro and Rupsov. And battling here in the corner. Price trying to maneuver through the pressure. Santoro threw it behind the net. Hat tricks will change. First line back on Rivers, Adrian, and Grady Friedman. One of these other rookies who has stepped right in and has played now consistently on this first line. Grady Friedman, 7 points in 6 games and a almost opportunity there at the back post. 16:01 on the clock. First real test for Jamison Bork. Chance Adrian wearing number 91 tonight in these novelty uniforms. Adrian has really come on as of late. Puck spills into the slot. Sosinski almost got his stick on it. Now behind the net with Adrian. He's got 8 points in his last 5 games. Joined the team in the Noah Robinson trade from PD, one of the many players that started their season down in Florence, South Carolina, and found themselves in Danbury by the end. Friedman almost teed up there for a one-timer. Right point with Sosinski, tried to dump it in deeper. He'll catch and play it along the red line. Hakala shuffles it down. Chernyuk trying to angle through, able to push it over just enough to a teammate. Kandurka trying to slice through. Kandurka sticking with it along the far boards. I'll cycle it deep for Demaray. Zachary Demaray looking for Kandurka. Moves it up for Pickford. Spinning through Pickford, the defenseman goes for the wraparound and almost did it himself. And another follow-up, he scores! Austin Pickford. Well, he looked like a bull in a china shop barreling through there to defenseman. Austin Pickford sticking with it. The initial wraparound attempt saved. Keeps working up into the slot. Finds the puck again and beats Bork. Pickford, his 3rd goal for the Hat Tricks this season. Playing his 23rd game, another player who started with PD to start the year. But an unlikely name to find the first goal of the night. Penton freezes, some shoves thrown down towards the crease. Hat-trick strike first, it's Austin Pickford. Makes it 1-0, 14:20 to go in the first period. You're watching Danbury Hat Tricks live on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Head over to TK's American Cafe on White Street for 80 different wing flavors and good times. With 30 flat screen televisions and free Wi-Fi, we're the perfect spot to catch the game or enjoy a night out. Visit tksamericancafe.com for more information. TK's American Cafe. Make sure to try our hat trick flavor. When life brings legal challenges, trust Chipman, Mizuko, and Emerson. From business law and real estate to estate planning and litigation, our experienced attorneys are here to guide you every step of the way. Proudly serving clients across Fairfield County and Western Connecticut. Learn more at danburylaw.com. Nothing freshens like an ice-cold Coca-Cola. From classic Coke to a wide variety of sparkling and still drinks, we've got something for everyone. Learn more at CokeNortheast.com, because every sip deserves a smile.
1-0 hat tricks, 14:20 to go in the first period. Austin Pickford finding the first goal of this contest. Here he is on the puck behind the net. Rondudo surveying, whips it towards the low slot. Santoro pinning. Rondudo poking, now plays it up to the point. Backhanded clear out towards Caden Fennell. Team leader in assists this season. Konstantin Chernyuk does have more total assists. That's across 3 different teams. Prowlers with a rush. Dietrich deking around now behind the net. Almost thought about a wraparound. Larkin coming in. Shot blocked. Loose right circle. Almost picked up by Rivers, still in the zone. Lockhart walking in. Shot, score! A beautiful move from Lockhart. Beats Penton and ties it up with 13:23 in the first. Here it is again. Keeping it in the zone, just waiting for the right shooting lane, and beats Penton glove side. Brett Lockhart, the rookie, he had 5 points last weekend versus Watertown, now getting his 6th goal of the season. Gagnon cycles deep. Price helps it on towards Millette. Price working up the boards, finds Larkin. Right point, Lockhart. Ties the game up for his team. Right after an unlikely goal from Austin Pickford. Great individual effort from Pickford. Finding a goal against a team that has really held the hat tricks off the scoreboard in all the games this season. Only 1.3 goals per game in the season series. Millette, loose puck, shot blocked by Kandurka. A lot of ozone time for the Prowlers. Sending it deep, Fennell is there. Tukane trying to get up to the red line and held up. Now a turnover in the neutral zone. Dietrich, Bucell, shot wide. Tried to go on Penton's glove side, just like Lockhart did. Federley tried to feather it. Loose at the red line, Bucell was there. Friedman flips it in for Danbury. Flips it too high into the netting and out of play. Right circle face-off. First line on, Chance Adrian. Tie up Rivers. Trying to find the loose puck. Adrian does and works off a shot. Adrian again centering. Shot from Friedman this time. Testing Bork again. Last night, Grady Friedman with a goal and an assist. Had the first of 12 goals scored between the two teams last night. And in only 3 games versus the Wolves, 5 points against them, 4 goals, 1 assist. Coaching staff and the entire front office has to be delighted with what they've seen from Friedman, the Kennebunk, Maine native. Played his college hockey at UMass Boston and most recently at Curry College. Cross ice pass intercepted. Friedman able to recover. It was Timothy Organ trying to intercept. Adrian's pass blocked. Millette snuffs it out. Organ on the puck. Trying to leave it for Marty. Too far ahead of him, and it's loose in the neutral zone. Up for DeCumbis. Thrown cross ice to the corner. Simonchik with a touch. Still loose along the half wall. Rupsov maneuvering and able to feather it up ahead for Pickford, who's leading the rush. Gets a taste of the goals and wants to lead it himself, the defenseman. Referee says there was a deflection in on the entry. Deep forecheck here from the Prowlers. They spin it around near side with Pickford. Breakout pass bouncing towards Frondudo. It did hit off a stick, so no icing. And an offsides just in front of the Prowlers bench with 9:41 to go in the first period. Brett Lockhart ties it up for the Prowlers. It's 1-1 mid-first period. You're watching the Hat Tricks live on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Looking for the best in beverage distribution? Choose DiCello Distributors. From Anheuser-Busch to local craft beers, we offer a full range of beer, cider, and non-alcoholic options. Serving New Haven, Fairfield, and Middlesex counties, we're committed to quality service and community. Visit DiCello.com to learn more. Diversified Printing Solutions is your full-service print partner in Danbury. With over 50 years of combined experience, we handle everything from graphic design and branded premiums to bindery mailing and smaller large print runs. DPS doesn't just print, we help you communicate from concept to delivery. Visit us online at dprintingsol.com. Struggling with pain or mobility issues? Turn to Hartsburg Chiropractic Health Center in Danbury. Specializing in posture correction, sports injuries, sciatica, arthritis, and more, our patients rave about personal.
Get right back to it here in the offensive zone with the Hat Tricks. Under 10 minutes to play in the first. Prowlers find a tying goal by way of Brett Lockhart. Fennell shoots in behind. Kept into the zone, Kandurka laying the body there. The spearhead of the forecheck. Loose puck in the low slot, and we'll get a penalty, an elbowing call. Kandurka and Lockhart exchange some words right in front of the Hat Tricks bench, and Kandurka will be the one heading to the box. Second power play of the evening for the Prowlers. Port Huron on the year, 11th in the Fed on the power play, 15.7%. One notch ahead of Danbury. As I said, they're locked into the number 2 seed. Blue Ridge cannot catch them, and they cannot catch Binghamton. Still, the last 3 games important to fine-tune their stuff and get their playoff push going. Hat Tricks trying to find some things in the final 3 games despite being eliminated last night. Johnson behind the net. Sosinski finds the puck. And clearing it out is Crom. Santoro and Adrian quickly on in their stead. Sosinski, Chernyuk, Adrian, and Santoro. Lockhart forced back out. Puck deflected. Now centered back up. Dietrich walking in. Blocker save. High bounce off the pad. Santoro tried to whip it around and able to get it clear. Grayson Dietrich out there for the Prowlers on the power play. He's one of their college signees that's joined the team. 5 goals in 3 games as Dietrich. Coming over from Niagara University in the Atlantic Hockey Conference. Rolling around for Millette at the right point. Pressured by Adrian. 30 seconds on the power play. Larkin, now Price. Millette, one-timer, shot low, save. Crom shovels it clear, 17 seconds to go. It was Dietrich there, lined up the one-timer. Trying to squeeze one more rush is Larkin. It falls flat in the neutral zone. And we'll get a whistle as we return to even strength. Kandurka out of the box with 7:07 to go in the first. Those guys look ready to head onto the ice with their sticks. Get them a jersey in the second period. We already have Dave McIsaac joining the team tonight. We saw him have a very loud 30-second shift. I keep saying 30 minutes. It sure felt like that. Making his presence felt, an icon in this arena. And the Hat Tricks are actually going to go on the power play here. Failed to mention. Danbury on the power play right after killing off the Prowlers' second attempt. They'll try to enter along the far side with Rivers. Cleared out again. 2-minute holding minor on Grayson Dietrich at 12:52. Hat Tricks 12th in the FPHL on the power play. Chernyuk leading the charge. He had 2 power play goals in the third period, back-to-back to tie the game up and give the Hat Tricks a lead. Down 4-3 after 2 and makes it 5-4. Milan Brezhko got a shorty to make it 6-4, and that was just enough in the end. 7-5 final. Rupsov trying to re-enter over halfway through the power play and still unable to really set anything up. Friedman leading the rush. Slows up now, glides through, jammed up along the left circle. Flipped clear again by the Prowlers, only 25 seconds to go on the 5-on-4. Penton plays it for Friedman. Friedman held up, crosses the line. Lockhart again, sending it down. This should do it for the Prowlers penalty kill. Their first shift on the PK this evening. Held up right at the blue line, turned it over. Alexander shot high. That hit into the netting and will return back to even strength. 15 minutes through the first period. 1 goal apiece between the Hat Tricks and the Prowlers. Pickford at 5:26. And a minute and 2 seconds later, Brett Lockhart assisted by John Larkin. Shots even at 6 apiece. It has been a very even affair so far. Marty's shot deflected. Bounce to the far side. Fennell will skate it out. He'll shoot in just past the red line. Slows up behind the net. On the puck is Marty. Looking for Johnson. Johnson finds it. They'll regroup here in the neutral zone as the Prowlers get a change. Played up now for Dietrich. Matt Graham down the right wing. Banked it behind Fennell there. Port Huron winning it right back in the neutral zone. A lot of time spent in the neutral zone so far this period. A lot of loose pucks. Not a lot of rhythm for either team. A lot of times just being jammed up right along the blue line as they try to start a rush. Here's a breakout here with Dietrich again. Rolls it around, backhanded by Hakala. Frondudo swung around. Simonchik there, laying the body. Andrei Simonchik, 11 games, 76 penalty minutes. Here's a opportunity, slice thing through is Alexander, and he'll draw a penalty. We'll go to the power play when we get back. 3:21 remaining in the first period. Hat Tricks and Prowlers still tied up 1-1 here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Recover with confidence at Hat City Physical Therapy. Personalized care for sports injuries, post-surgical rehabilitation, and chronic conditions. As the official PT provider for the Danbury Hat Tricks, we specialize in advanced treatments like dry needling, cupping, and KT taping. Visit us online at hatcityphysicaltherapy.com to schedule a consultation. Serving handcrafted drinks, Cash and Live Coffee Creations combine flavor, creativity, and community in every cup. Visit us online at cashandlivecoffee.com or check us out in the Danbury Ice Arena. Cash and Live Coffee Creations, where every sip tells a story. Make your stay comfortable at La Quinta Inn and Suites by Wyndham Danbury. With spacious rooms, free breakfast, and modern amenities, we've got everything you need to relax and recharge. Conveniently located in Danbury, we're perfect for business or leisure travel. Book your stay today at wyndhamhotels.com/La Quinta.
Final 3:21 here at the DIA. Here's a look at Julian Frazier, one of the players being honored tonight in the Danbury Ring of Honor. We'll talk plenty more about Julian in the first intermission. The Ring of Honor ceremony will be coming up after the first period, quickly starting again. Glove save off a Dietrich shot. It's been all over the place in the first 17 minutes. So Port Huron starting the power play, their third time this period. Austin Pickford, the culprit after scoring the Hat Tricks goal. Pickford has at least 2 penalty minutes in now each of his last 6 games. Finding himself in the penalty box quite a bit lately. Alexander enters, Kandurka takes it away and clears. Larkin leaves it back for Alexander. Crazy bounces. Price found it in the high slot. We'll keep it alive here at the point. Cross ice one-timer, not quite everything on it from Dietrich. Back on the puck right circle. Flips it low, Alexander back up left circle, Larkin. Looking again for the cross ice pass. And a whistle as the net came loose. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Saw a look at Julian Frazier there in the box. Did you know that Julian Frazier also won a cup with the Port Huron Prowlers in 2016 after his time with the Danbury Whalers? So some shared history between these two teams and Frazier. Graham was looking for the tip drill down low. Danbury clears again. So far, 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Another entry here, Lockhart, who has the goal for the Prowlers, scoring about a minute after Pickford struck first. Right along the blue line, Federley holding it in. 10 seconds now, puck pinballing around. Johnson low for Graham, cross ice up for Lockhart. Couldn't catch it clean. We're back to even strength. Pickford racing back into the D zone, trying to help out. He'll lead the rush. Moved it ahead for Kandurka. A whistle for a hand pass. And we're going to have another power play for the Hat Tricks this time. Thought it was for a hand pass, but it was actually signaling a penalty on Alex Johnson. Port Huron with 3 trips on the power play, now make it 2 for Danbury. Not much of anything on their first opportunity. Fonduto cross ice, a lot of space here for Adrian. Shot save. And they build some momentum here on the power play. Under a minute to play in the first period. Power play will continue into the second if the Hat Tricks do not find a goal here. Chernyuk, shot, deflected high and away. .31 seconds to go in the first period, a minute 22 on the power play. It'll be about 50 seconds or so on the Johnson penalty to start the second period if no goal is scored. And we'll stick around for the first intermission here as we have the Ring of Honor and Alumni Night festivities going on the ice. So we'll give you coverage of all that after the first period wraps up here. Chernyuk holding it at the line. Adrian. Millette lost his stick. Center, Adrian. Adrian again in the corner. 8 seconds. Set up for Rupsov with a drive wide. 4 seconds now. And Hat Tricks can't beat the buzzer to finish the first period. With 1 goal apiece, Austin Pickford scoring first for the Hat Tricks. Shortly after, Brett Lockhart tying it up for the Prowlers. It's 1-1 after the first period. So we'll take a very quick break. And as the Alumni Night festivities get going, we'll give you some coverage of that. So stick around here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network on this Saturday night. back here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Don't usually show you the in-ice interviews, and probably won't be able to hear the audio, but young fella getting an awesome opportunity to interview Caden Fennell, who has quickly become a fan favorite this season in his rookie campaign. The Hat Tricks will have 50 seconds on that power play to start period number 2. The alumni night members were going to slowly start making their way to center ice. The 3 main players being honored tonight are Frank Bialois, Julian Frazier, who you saw there at some point during the first, and Steve Brown. Now, Steve Brown was inducted in the 2023 class alongside Ed Campbell and Alan Friedman. But Brown is now going to have his number put up in the rafters to solidify his legacy. And I got a chance to speak with all 3 of these guys this week. It was a pleasure hearing their story, and we have some articles up on the Hat Tricks website if you want to learn more about them. But if you're a part of this Danbury hockey community, you know these names very well. They span every era, dating back to the Trashers, the Whalers, the Titans, the Hat Tricks. They really pieced together the story of this city's hockey history. Herm Sorcher emceeing all our stuff here tonight. And as everybody makes their way onto the ice, we'll give you a very quick recap of period number 1. It wraps up 1-1 between the Hat Tricks and the Prowlers. Not a lot of shots for either team. Hat Tricks with a very narrow 8-7 shots advantage. 5 minutes into the game, Austin Pickford pinched in deep with the puck. The defenseman initially went for a wraparound and stuck with it. He got the Hat Tricks' first goal. And only a minute and 2 seconds later, Brett Lockhart from the left circle found a puck at the blue line, walked his way down, waited for an angle, and beat Kyle Penton. It's tied up 1-1. There's John Krapinski, Hat Tricks assistant coach, joining everybody at the center ice circle. There's Phil Jubileo, the voice of the Danbury Trashers. Got a chance to call a game with him. Actually, last time the Prowlers were in town in late December. Folks still making their way to center ice. 5 penalties between the 2 teams in the first period. 3 against Danbury, 2 against Port Huron, including 1 30 seconds in from Dave McIsaac, making his celebrity appearance. Getting a roughing minor. They're wearing number 3 tonight. We'll see if he gets back out there for a shift. Here's Ed Campbell making his way onto the ice. Member of that 2023 Ring of Honor class with Steve Brown.
All right, next up, our fans.
Here's some members of the Sorcher family heading out now in honor of Larry Sorcher, who passed a couple months ago. A critical and essential piece of Danbury hockey history. Father of Herm, as I said, with the mic tonight, as always.
You guys don't see these people out here again? Awesome. All right, it is time for the heavy hitters, the big inductees of the night.
The inductees are about to
We already gave the
come
intro,
out here.
but this guy, he has left his mark in this city. Whalers, Titans, hat tricks, captain, two-time champion, 278 games, Steve Brown.
Steve Brown being announced in the arena.
And friends, if you get a chance, check out by TK's Corner. You'll see the numbers for Steve, the 16 and 44. Okay.
So Steve's number 16 and number 44, the two numbers he wore for the Whalers and the Hat Tricks, will be retired by the Danbury hockey community.
50 points, 540 penalty minutes, more than any other professional player in the history of this building. He's a champion at 23, or excuse me, 13. Julian Frazier.
Steve Brown first, now Julian Frazier, who we saw in the box during the first period, wearing a colorful teal suit, looking sharp as ever. Julian Frazier, one of the most iconic enforcers in Danbury hockey history. He joined the Whalers at 21 years old, and he became a fan favorite right away. He won People's Favorite Player of the Year awards multiple times. And now Herm Sorcher getting a nice shout out here, handing over MC duties to Phil Jubileo. The lights are down. Can only mean one thing. The third and final member of our Ring of Honor inductee class, Frank the Animal Bialois. And you can't see it here, folks, but they are showing a montage of the Animal's best fighting clips from his time with the Trashers. And here's a look at it. The flowing hair out of the helmet. I mean, one of the greatest fighters to ever do it. He is spoken about in rare air in the hockey fighting circles. Got to speak to AJ Galante during the week as I was preparing for the weekend, and he told me that once when Frank was playing, they cut up a mix of The Undertaker as basically an intro as he skated onto the ice just to strike fear into the opponents. And even from the footage you can see on your screen, he was not a man to be messed with back in his day, as he joins the crew at center ice alongside Brown and Frazier. Lights are back on.
Hey, we're down to the last two guys for the Ring of Honor here for this ceremony for Alumni Night. It always will end with these guys because it started with them.
Bialowas had joined the Trashers at age 34. He played most of his career in the AHL, ECHL, had a brief stint with the Maple Leafs. Here comes AJ Galante, wearing a Trashers uniform. Former GM of the Trashers and current GM of the Hat Tricks.
Oh, here we go. He's the man. We're standing here because of this guy. He had the vision. He put it together. And we're standing here today. Founder, president, owner of the Danbury Trashers, Jim Galante here tonight.
And there's Jim Galante, father of AJ, the former founder, owner of the Trashers. Nice embrace with his son. It's a who's who of Danbury hockey tonight here at the DIA. A wonderful gathering of a bunch of people who played a part in the story of this hockey community's history. All the way back to the Trashers, we have Hat Tricks people, Whalers, Titans, Mad Hatters. Every team is represented here tonight. Just sticking back to Steve Brown very briefly, playing across multiple different Danbury teams. He had the longest collective career in Danbury hockey history. He played for 7 seasons. He stayed through the changes from the Whalers to the Titans to the Hat Tricks. 257 games for Steve Brown. He talked about playing here as a visiting player and just remembering how crazy the section behind the visitors' bench is, and thinking, hey, if I ever made a move in my career, I think Danbury would be the place to go, and it worked out that way. He came from Cape Cod in the dispersal draft in 2013, won a championship with the Whalers, and deservedly so, is having his jersey numbers retired, number 16 and number 44 tonight. So that wraps up their Alumni Night ceremony. Thanks for sticking with us through the first intermission. We'll wait for the Zamboni to do its thing and get the sheet ready for period number 2. We'll be back at the start of the second period here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Let Expedia Cruises Brookfield turn that dream into reality. Our local travel experts offer personalized planning for cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, and more. Whether you're seeking a tropical escape or a European adventure, we've got you covered. Visit ExpediaCruises.com to start planning today. At Golf Lounge 18, we deliver state-of-the-art virtual golf fun in Danbury and throughout Connecticut. Equipped with TrackMan 4 technology, our bays allow golfers to play real courses indoors. Reserve your bay or learn more at golflounge18.com. Golf Lounge 18, real golf all year round. Step into Gray Scent Boutique and Candle Bar, where style and creativity come together. Browse our curated finds, enjoy permanent jewelry, or craft your own custom scented candle. Located in Bethel, Connecticut, we're the perfect spot for gifts, gatherings, and unforgettable experiences. Visit gracescent.com for more information. Got a leak, clog, or plumbing problem you can't ignore? Call Hope Plumbing, your trusted local experts for fast, reliable service. Located in Prospect, Connecticut, help is just a call away. Visit thehopecos.com or call 203-663-3223 today to learn more. Because when it comes to plumbing, there's always hope. Building something great starts with the right materials. At Kellogg Hardwood Lumber, we supply premium hardwoods, custom millwork, and quality lumber for builders, craftsmen, and DIYers alike. Located in Bethel, Connecticut, we're your trusted source for strength, beauty, and reliability in every project. Visit kelloggHardwoods.com today. Stay warm this winter with Mitchell Oil. From heating oil and propane delivery to HVAC installation and service, we offer comprehensive solutions for homes and businesses. With automatic delivery options, flexible pricing plans, and 24/7 emergency service, Mitchell Oil ensures your comfort year-round. Visit Mitchell.com to become a customer today. Mitchell Oil, ready to serve you. When disaster strikes, Paul Davis is here to help. We provide fast and reliable restoration services from properties damaged by water, fire, mold, or storms, serving both homes and businesses with 24/7 emergency response. Check us out online at pauldavis.com to find a location near you. Looking for a premier golfing experience? Visit Richter Park Golf Course, the #2 public course in the New York metro area. With 4 sets of tees, we challenge golfers of all skill levels. Open daily, Richter Park offers competitive rates and online tee time reservations. Visit richterpark.com to book your round today. Bring back your curb appeal with Rinse and Wash Pressure Washing. From driveways and decks to siding and storefronts, we make your surfaces shine like new. Our team delivers fast, professional results you can count on. Visit rinseandwashct.com today to schedule your clean, because a fresh look starts with a rinse and wash. Stacy's Totally Baked crafts freshly baked goods daily, from cookies and cupcakes to signature cakes for every occasion. Based in Ridgefield, we serve local cafes, cater events, and accept custom orders. Visit stacystotallyBaked.com to browse our menu and place your order. Stacy's Totally Baked, where every bite is made with love. Hungry for a steak? Come to Texas Roadhouse for hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and made-from-scratch sides in a fun, family-friendly setting. Whether you're dining in or ordering to go, Texas Roadhouse offers legendary food and service. For more information, visit texasroadhouse.com/Danbury. At Ventura Law, we speak your language, know your culture, and understand your story. For over 65 years, we've been fighting for the rights of injured individuals across Connecticut and New York. Our compassionate bilingual attorneys guide you through every step, making sure your voice is heard. Visit venturalaw.com for a free consultation. Ventura Law, justice you can trust. Transform your outdoor space with Yard Goats Landscaping, located in Bethel, Connecticut. From spring cleanups and tree work to custom patios, fencing, and masonry, we're your one-stop shop for all things landscaping. Visit yardgoats.io for a free consultation. Yard Goats Landscaping, where your dream yard becomes reality. Need reliable equipment for your next project? Turn to Decker Tool Rental. With locations in Danbury, Bridgeport, and beyond, we offer a full range of rental tools and heavy machinery. Whether you're a contractor or DIYer, our knowledgeable staff ensures you get the right gear for the job. Visit DeckerCatRentalStore.com today. Looking to upgrade your ride or home? Choose Emerald Tint, your premier window tinting masters for Fairfield County. Whether it's automotive, residential, commercial, or marine tinting, we use high-quality ceramic films for superior heat rejection, UV protection, and enhanced privacy. Visit emeraldtint.com today. Raise the glass to great beer at Charter Oak Brewing Company, located here in Danbury. Enjoy 10 rotating drafts, live local music, and a shaded beer garden perfect for your next event. Visit us online at charteroakbrewing.com to learn more. Dreaming of your next getaway? Let Expedia Cruises Brookfield turn that dream into reality.
back for the second period of action here at the Danbury Ice Arena. An extended first intermission with our Alumni Night festivities honoring the newest members of the Ring of Honor. But we're ready to get back up and going here. The Hat Tricks will have the second half of a power play to start the second period. Still 50 seconds left on the Alex Johnson slashing minor. A look at Kyle Penton, who saw 7 shots, saved 6, with Brett Lockhart's goal being the one for Port Huron. There is Bork in net for the Prowlers. Jamison Bork making his first start since March 19th. He did play 19 minutes last night in the loss to Binghamton. Getting a start here tonight, as most of the Empire Division playoff picture is clear. Binghamton will be the #1 seed, Port Huron the #2. Blue Ridge needs 5 points from their final 3 games to secure the 3 seed. And that's big because the 4th seed will obviously have to go and play Binghamton. That will likely be Topeka. They do have a game in hand on Blue Ridge. There's a quick snapshot of the Empire playoff picture as it stands, with 3 or 4 games to go for most teams in the regular season. Second period back up and going here. 35 seconds remaining on the power play as Cherniak and company try to enter into the zone. Rupsov does just that. He lost an edge. Still loose. Rupsov still with it. Banks it up high for Cherniak. Rivers, cross ice. Past the stick of Adrian and cleared all the way down. Johnson waiting to leave the box. Cherniak leaves it behind for Rupsov, and we're back to 5-on-5. Hat Tricks enter the zone. Federley gives it a whack. Near corner with Rupsov. He's been on the ice a while. Miscommunication there on the line change. Almost got caught with 6 men. Fresh skaters on third line. There with Demaray, Kandurka, and Crom. And here is Demaray. Hadn't played the last 2 games, but in the lineup tonight on that third line. Shot down. Referee says no icing. Play on along the near corner. Grayson Dietrich, we said his name a lot in the first period. Coming over from Niagara University in the Division I college ranks. Joining the Prowlers in their playoff push. Remember, collegiate signees have to play 5 games in the regular season to qualify for postseason eligibility. Kicked off the skate into the path of Graham, dangling in, backhand score! Matt Graham beats Kyle Penton and gives the Prowlers a lead. Here's a replay, dangling through, and backhanded shot just trickles through the pads. Not sure if it was 5-hole or through the armpit underneath the blocker. Kyle Penton in net after backing up Aiden Pierce the last 2 games. That has been stellar for the Hat Trick since assuming the starting role from Sebastian Resar. Giving up that goal, and the Prowlers have their first lead of the night. Matt Graham, his 18th goal of the season. Fondudo fighting behind the net. Rupsov working off a shot. And Bork will freeze the puck. 17-21. Joe Santoro centering the first line now. Frandudo and Rupsov. Forgive me, that's the second line out there. A lot of skaters who have spent plenty of time there on that first line. Prowlers into the zone. Alexander shot, glove save. Penton got a piece of it. It'll spill all the way down the opposite end. Alexander gains the line. Left wing, cuts back. A whistle. A lot of bodies down low in the blue paint. Fennell, Millette, Tukane. Net came loose. There's someone wearing a Ian Tukane jersey. Wearing it backwards though. Making sure everybody knows it's a Tukane jersey. So offensive zone face-off right circle for the Prowlers. Five and 1 against the Hat Tricks this season, including 4 wins in this arena. The Hat Tricks have not won a game versus the Prowlers since game 2 of last year's first round series. April 19th was that day. Shot deflected by Rupsov's stick. Frandudo bouncing it clear, making its way into the neutral zone. Now some space for Santoro, puck too far ahead of him. Kept in the zone for a moment as Dietrich settles, and we'll try to recollect. Jamer backhands in. Kandurka now batted back towards Kandurka by Chernyuk. Bounced off the backboards. Sosinski tried to go rink wide, bouncing puck again. Hit into the air. Jamer across the line. Dietrich had it stripped. Good stick there from Chernyuk. Puck flips into the concourse, right towards the Zamboni. Somebody gets a free souvenir. .15:35 to go in the second period. Still not a lot of shots on net between the two teams, yet 3 goals to show for it. 3-on-3 developing. Alexander now left wing. Price tried to go for the deke. It's snuffed out. And again, puck going over the boards. Center ice face-off. Hat Tricks now trailing after going up 1-0 in the first period. Austin Pickford with the goal. His first goal since February 21st. As Danbury enters. Friedman almost got past a couple defensemen. We saw him score a spectacular goal against Watertown in the New Jersey neutral site game, deking through multiple defensemen and sending the goaltender spinning. One of the moments that has shown how special he can be. Only 6 games into his professional career. Tecumseh hounded by some black jerseys, taken over by Chernyuk. Whiffs on the pass. Send it up the wall. Sosinski tied up himself. Able to work it for Friedman. 4-on-2. Rupsov, left wing drop for Friedman. Shot, save, bouncing puck loose, and slapped clear. Best chance of the period for the Hat Tricks. And it was Friedman punctuating it with the shot. Akela pressured from behind by Frondudo. Attempted the entry, but a delayed offsides on Rupsov. Graham fluttered it ahead. It was Dietrich trying to shake past Pickford. Millette finds the puck. Almost an odd man rush there, Santoro. Instead, down low here with Pickford. Breakout attempt off the skate of Rupsov. Now in with Millette. Back in with Larkin. Shot, gloved and held with 13:22 in the second period. Prowlers find a go-ahead goal. It's Matt Graham making it 2-1 here at the DIA. Prowlers have a 1-goal lead halfway through the second period here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Looking for top quality meats? Omaha Beef Company is your go-to wholesale food distributor. We carry a wide selection of beef, poultry, pork, cheeses, and pantry staples. Visit omahabeefcompany.com to learn more. Omaha Beef Company, serving Connecticut with quality you can count on. Is joint pain slowing you down? At Ortho Connecticut, our team of expert orthopedic surgeons and specialists get you back to doing what you love pain-free. From sports injuries to joint replacement, we offer advanced care close to home. Visit myorthoct.com to schedule your appointment today. Looking for a brighter smile? Stony Hill Dental Care offers comprehensive dental services, including sedation, cosmetic, and preventive care. Schedule your appointment today at stonyhilldental.com. Stony Hill Dental Care, where your smile comes first. Get your tickets fast and easy at Tixer.com, the official ticketing partner of the Danbury Hat Tricks. We make it simple to buy, sell, and manage tickets. Get your tickets today at Tixer.com and cheer on your Danbury Hat Tricks.
Back here in Danbury. Offensive zone draw for the Prowlers. Behind the net with Caden Fennell. Get us back started. Danbury trailing for the first time tonight. Icing there. There's Johnny Ruiz on the bench with the team. So hopeful to see that. Johnny's road to recovery. Seen him standing up at the TK corner to my left in some games, now joining the team on the bench. Centering pass. Lockhart back down low. Millette, some room. Tried to throw it across the goal mouth and still on his stick. Spinning around some black jerseys and finally intercepted by Ian Tukane. Continuing the rush, Tukane, the defenseman, hits the brakes, now cycles to the near side. Lockhart intercepted. Rivers, 1-on-0. Tried to go for the 5-hole. Adrian couldn't get it off his stick. And a delayed penalty. Whistle blows. It's going to go against Port Huron. Third chance on the power play for the Hat Tricks upcoming. Here's the replay. Now both teams with 3 chances on the man advantage. Coming right after a wild sequence there. Eli Rivers pickpocketing Lockhart. Opted to go 5-hole. Rivers, no player hotter right now than number 71. 1.3 goals per game in his 24 games for the Hat Tricks. 7 points in his last 2 games. Rupsov enters the zone. Can the Hat Tricks find something here on the power play? One-timer, Chernyuk glove save. That's where they had their luck last night. Chernyuk, the 2 power play goals in the 3rd period, turned the game around and not the win. Last night, the 17th and final game in the Hat Tricks and the Wolves. They win the series 11-6 on the season. Another offensive zone win. Bouncing far half wall. Now into the neutral zone with Tecumseh. He'll chip in and chase. Back up into the neutral zone, sent right back down as the Prowlers bleed off some more clock. Rivers into the zone, but stripped immediately. Sent clear with 53 seconds on the power play. Crom gets crunched by Alexander. Given away, Friedman. Deeks past one, almost got past Millette. And a penalty, a hooking call on Oregon, it looks like, and the Hat Tricks are gonna go 5-on-3. So a 5-on-3 opportunity for 37 seconds. And some more time on the 5-on-4. Crom, Kandurka, Santoro, Sosinski, and Friedman. The 5 out there for the Hat Tricks. They'll start at the right circle with Santoro in to take the draw. Huge spot here for the Hat Tricks power play, trying to tie this game up. Looking to make it 3 wins in 3 games. But on the shorthand, Price, shot, held by Penton. Took off 11 seconds on the 5-on-3. Still 26 seconds left on the initial. John Larkin, that cross-checking minor. And now Tim Organ at 9:09, a hooking call. Minute and 23 seconds on the 5-on-3. If they cannot convert in the final 20 seconds here. Down the right wing, Frondudo, shot off the side of the net. Maybe tricked a couple folks watching along the boards. 10 seconds. Plenty of room to operate. Chernyuk and Rivers switch sides. Rupsov, shot, tight angle. Spits back out for Chernyuk, 5-on-4. His shot goes high into the path of Larkin. Straight out of the box on the breakaway. Larkin, backhand, save. Huge save on the shorthand for Kyle Penton. A minute to go on the Oregon penalty. Rivers will collect opposite blue line. Chernyuk across. Now Rupsov collides with the referee. To the chagrin of some Danbury fans in the arena, saying, get out of the way. Not much he could have done there, I'm afraid. Still 25 seconds for the Hat Tricks to set something up here. Sosinski, that's taken down. 2 players falling to the ice. Sosinski still with it, the defenseman's shot off the glass. Recollect back up to the right point. Friedman walks down, cuts in, backhand denied. And we're back to even strength. One-timer, Crom off the shoulder of Bork. Three on two, Alexander into the zone, some room in the slot. Shot was blocked by Santoro. Puck falling for Fennell. The speed of Fennell, shot off the post. An exciting last 5 minutes here at the DIA. It remains 2-1. Scooped up by Kyle Penton in time for our second media timeout of the period. 8:17 remaining in the second. Hat-tricks with a couple chances still, looking for a tying goal. Prowlers 2, Hat-tricks 1. You're watching the Hat-tricks live on the Hat-tricks Digital Network.
Fire up your appetite with Twins Barbecue Company. Smoked meats, bold flavors, and barbecue that brings people together. Stop by for ribs, brisket, wings, and more in Brookfield. Visit twinsbbqco.com to view our menu, order online, or find our next food truck stop. Twins Barbecue. There's nothing better than smoking hot twins. Looking to make your brand stand out? Vision Designs in Brookfield has you covered. From custom screen printing and embroidery to eye-catching signs, banners, and promotional products, they bring your ideas to life with unmatched quality and service. Visit VisionDesignCT.com. Vision Designs, where your vision becomes reality. Looking to elevate your night out? At Illicit Brewing Company, we feature a beer hall, cocktail bar, arcade, lounge, and private event space. Enjoy a diverse menu, live music, trivia nights, and more. Visit illicitbrewing.com/Danbury for more information.
Back here in Danbury, there's a look at the crumble cookie toss. Got some Chapel Rowan on the stereo, a pink pony toss, and a great catch too. The game suddenly crackling to life in the final couple minutes there. And there's a look at the collision between Rupsov and our referee officiating crew, Bill Bird, Chris Montalvo, Michael Imperio, and Isaac Kessler. Defensive zone draw win. Across the red line and sent in by Kurt Watson, the third of the three collegiate signees playing for the Hat-tricks tonight. Watson making his third appearance for Danbury this season, skating as the 10th skater this evening. And battling in the corner with Jamer, one of the Prowlers college signings. They have three in their lineup tonight, Jamer, Larkin, and Alexander, along with Dietrich. Make it 4. Millette spinning back. Cycles for Price. At the blue line, left to right. Federley, high shot. And gets past the netting. So during that stretch on the couple power plays right before the break, that was 10 shots between the two teams after Matt Graham got that second goal for Port Huron. Only 26 shots total in the game. So 10 of the 26 came in maybe a 3 or 4 minute stretch. Pickford flips it into the neutral zone. Rivers doing his best to pry it free and does. Adrian 2-on-1. Tried to send it across. Johnson was crouching and preventing. Johnson's pass tipped by Alexander. Taken over by Friedman. Adrian lays off for Friedman. Tried to find Rivers down along the left side. Just couldn't connect. 77-71. Simonchik doing work behind the net, pinching in is the defenseman. Dietrich intercepts, 3-on-2 developing, and Simonchik just tossed someone's stick. But an offsides on the entry into the offensive zone. A killer for the Prowlers. Shots still even, 13 apiece. Last Saturday when the Hat Tricks were back home, there was a lopsided shots on goal battle with Binghamton. Outshot by 25 shots, 49-25, which makes Aiden Pierce's performance in net even more impressive. Marty's pass blocked. Passed up the boards. Intercepted and blocked away by Penton. Hakela with the shot. Cherniak bounced off the wall. Into the path of Kandurka, beats out the icing. Surrounded by 3 Prowlers. Cherniak now pinching down. Graham trying to break the forecheck now with Parsons. Off a skate, Bucell wasn't ready for it. Brian Parsons having to reset. An icing with 5:26 to go in the second period. Now, last night's win dampered by the fact that Topeka defeated Baton Rouge and reached their quote-unquote magic number. They get to 83 points and clinch the 4th and final playoff spot in the Empire. Still a lot to look forward to in the final 3 games. We've seen a lot of rookies play very well down the stretch and hope that they can join the team next season. You never know with the college signings, but definitely a couple that have made their mark. Friedman, Santoro, Watson also in the lineup, as we said. We've seen the play of Aiden Pierce down the stretch, his 2 wins in his first 2 career starts as the Hat Tricks break out of the defensive zone. Tukane for Rupsov down the right wing, intercepted as we're now under 5 minutes to play in the second period. Another icing committed by Port Huron. We remain at 2-1. Prowlers with a 1-goal lead, 4:45 to go in the second. You're watching the Hat Tricks live on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Start your morning off right at Grounds Donut House. Enjoy our oversized artisanal donuts paired with premium coffee. For a unique treat, don't miss our ice cream-filled donuts. If you're looking for a sweet way to kick off your day, visit us in Danbury or check us out online at groundsdonuthouse.com/Danbury. Looking for great craft beer and live music? Visit Housatonic River Brewing in New Milford. Enjoy handcrafted ales in our rustic tap room or outdoor beer garden along the scenic Housatonic River. We're open Wednesday through Sunday with live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check out our full schedule and offerings at HousatonicRiverBrewing.com. Looking for reliable waste management? Choose Interstate Waste Services, your local family-owned provider since 1998. We provide comprehensive waste and recycling solutions for homes and businesses with a commitment to sustainability and community. For more information, visit interstatewaste.com.
Back at the DIA, how about some ABBA during the break? Mamma Mia, who doesn't like some ABBA? Wouldn't think that hockey and Swedish legendary music group go hand in hand, but I stand corrected. 4:43 to go in the second. Hat Tricks looking for a tying goal after Matt Graham gave the Prowlers their first lead of the night earlier in the second. Chipped in by Dietrich. Penton there to meet it behind the net. As Tukane will try to clear. Tukane held up by Jamer. Now a 2-on-1. Adrian getting back. Still loose left circle, shot blocked. behind the net with Alexander. Pinned along the boards by Tukane. It pops free now. Adrian jammed up there. Trying to pry it free before the referee blows his whistle. Backhanded out by Fennell, kept in at the line. One-timer blocked off the knee of Tukane, it looked. He's not showing any sign of pain. That was a hard hit puck. Delayed penalty against Danbury. They're gonna go on the penalty kill here to finish the second period. So it is Chance Adrian going to the penalty box. Get the official call in just a moment. He was forced to skate back as a stand-in defenseman on that initial 2-on-1 rush that kind of sparked what has now become a power play here for Port Huron, trying to double their lead as we head closer to the second intermission. Federally at the blue line. Still at the right point. Alex Johnson along the half wall, now down low. Centering pass, shot, save! Left to right goes Penton. A big stop here. 2 minutes for tripping on Adrian at 16:38. Fourth power play for Port Huron. They're 0 for 3 so far. Centering pass intercepted and slapped clear by Pickford, who has the hat trick's lone goal tonight. An unlikely goal scorer, Pickford. The defenseman getting his third goal as a hat trick and a turnover. Demaray tried to deke through. Good skate there from Alexander. Dietrich spinning back. Centers for Alexander, trying to work off a shot instead of pass, and Price couldn't find the open net. Just lost it off his stick. .36 seconds remaining on the power play. Hat tricks trying to just survive. Most dangerous attempt on the 5-on-4 tonight for the visitors. Alexander across the red line, into the zone. Tried the deke, left the puck. Kandurka scoops clear, back to even strength. 5-on-5, 1:15 to go in the second period. Friedman tracking back to find the puck. Flipped it into the neutral zone, only as far as Oregon. Oregon up ahead, Marty. Met by Fennell, who drew a tripping call. Stick got caught up in Fennell's skates. And this penalty-filled night continues. There's the replay. Fennell racing in to stop the rush down the left wing and incidentally drawing the penalty. Neither team has been able to find a goal on the 5-on-4. Can the hat tricks do it here? They ended last period on the power play. They'll do the same here. It'll be 1 minute and 6 seconds to start the third period if they don't find a goal here. Win the face-off, and Chernyuk, Rupsov and company will go to work. Rivers cross ice, one-timer, saved and squeezed by Bork. A moment of hesitation there. Rupsov, we've seen him set up shop in that right circle. Lefty, the opposite of what we've always seen with Johnny Ruiz this season and in the past in the left circle. Some excited fans ready for what could hopefully be a successful power play here. Rupsov manning the half wall out of the zone. Chernyuk finds Rupsov. He'll shield up ahead with Friedman waiting to enter. Friedman skips past Rupsov, 16 seconds. And a puck goes flying out into the stands. Great stick in the passing lane. Franjuda was lined up for a one-timer in the left circle. 12.9 on the clock. It'll be Adrian and Graham in the circle. And Adrian pushes down Graham. Chernyuk pad save. Gotta hurry here. Chernyuk another drive. Handled by Bork. And that will wrap up the second period. One goal in the second frame. Matt Graham, even strength assisted by Grayson Dietrich, has given the Prowlers a 2-1 lead heading into the third and final period. Last game between the Hat Tricks and Prowlers in this season series. Can the Hat Tricks find a tying goal and get a win here on this Saturday night? We'll find out in the third period. We'll take a break and be back a little bit before the third period to give you a look at some out-of-town scores and get you ready for the final period of Danbury Hat Tricks hockey here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Remember when a night out didn't break the bank? When fun was simple, social, and full of laughter? Bowling is still that place. Affordable, timeless, and made for everyone. Get more laughs per dollar bowling at Spins Bowl.
Second intermission at the Danbury Ice Arena, under 6 minutes before the third period gets going. We'll give you a recap of the second period, give you some out-of-town scores around the Fed, and get you set up here for the third and final period of the night and of this season series with the Prowlers. Second period started tied up 1-1, but at 2:15 in the second, Matt Graham combined with Grayson Dietrich for the second goal for the Prowlers. Graham sliced through the middle of the slot and beat Kyle Penton in a backhand that trickled right through either the 5-hole or just under the blocker. It's hard to tell from our angle. Hat-tricks have a narrow advantage in the shots on goal, 16-14. But for Graham, his first goal in 4 games, had scored back against Topeka in their 4-3 overtime win on March 21st. So the player, Coach Graham, the head coach / player, as he is, getting the game-winning goal as of now. Lots of opportunities on the power play for the Hat-tricks, including a chance on the 5-on-3 and 2 more extended opportunities on the 5-on-4. Getting some chances, certainly, but not able to find a tying goal. Also had to kill off 1 penalty as Chance Adrian took a 2-minute tripping minor later in the second period. 16-14 shots on goal, 8-7 in each period in favor of Danbury. Actually lost the shots on goal battle last night with Watertown, 33-35, despite winning that one 7-5. And you look back at the January 16th game against Port Huron, the only game that the Hat-tricks have won against their Michigan rivals this season. It was a 3-2 win. They were up 3-0 6 minutes into the third period. Port Huron had 2 late goals, but just couldn't tie it up. Hat-tricks win that one. Very different tonight. Danbury would need a comeback here in the third, only down 1 goal, of course. But this Port Huron defense against the Hat-tricks this season, only 1.3 goals per game allowed. And right now they have that 1 goal from Austin Pickford early in the first period. They are stingy as they come, even with Jamison Bork, who is not their go-to goaltender, arguably their third goalie behind Reed Cooper and Bailey Huber. Cooper, obviously, on the injured list. But Huber has been exceptional for them, and Bork stepping in, and neither goaltender has been tested with too many shots. There's a volume. Let in the 1 Pickford shot, but that has been it. The Hat-tricks looking for their first win against the Prowlers on home ice since April 19th, 2025, almost 1 year ago. And it was actually the Saturday before Easter, but it was game 2 of the first round. Game 2 of the first round series. They had lost game 1, they won game 2, ended up losing game 3 on Easter Sunday. So a lot of parallels. Of course, this game not a playoff game, but nonetheless, looking for some consolations here in the final 3 games as Danbury eliminated from the playoffs last night. Topeka taking that 4th and final spot. There's a look at the second period there. A quick roundup of the scores around the league as AC/DC ringing down here at the DIA. Hat-tricks skating back onto the ice. Our game 2-1 Port Huron over down in Athens, Georgia. The Rock Lobsters actually trail 3-2 to Indiana. The Cellar Dwellers in the Empire Division. Watertown losing 4-1 on home ice against Binghamton. Binghamton looking to sweep the weekend against Port Huron and Watertown. There's Kyle Penton getting ready in the Hat-tricks net. Monroe and Columbus tied 1-1 in the first. Blue Ridge with a 2-0 lead in the second period over Biloxi. Baton Rouge getting some revenge from last night's loss. They're winning 4-1 in the first period against Topeka, having been shut out last night. There's Jamison Bork getting ready for the Prowlers in the opposite goal. But the big ticket game tonight and for this weekend, all eyes turn to the PD Twin City series, the 4 and 5 seeds in the Continental right now. With a win tonight, Twin City could actually tie PD for that 4th and final playoff spot heading into the final weekend. Really the only piece of drama left in terms of playoff seeding in either division. So that's a roundup of some out-of-town scores. We are ready for period number 3. Hat-Tricks trying to find their second win of the season against Port Huron. Team they have a lot of history with. We know about last year's playoff series. So 1 minute remaining on the power play. Chernyuk angling through a couple white jerseys and gets it across the line. Back-to-back periods where the Hat-Tricks ended on the 5-on-4 and starting the next period with some time left on the power play. 2 straight clearances from Port Huron. Rupsov slicing through everybody. Rupsov's shot save off the pad. Rivers along the half wall with 20 seconds. Chernyuk shot wide. Tried to go glove side. Rivers back with it at the left point. Rupsov set up at that right circle. Primed for a one-timer if they can find him. 5 seconds, bouncing puck far corner. Kept in by Chernyuk. Back to even strength. Puck still behind the net with Frondudo. Neither team able to convert on the power play tonight. Loose puck, left circle. Tied up was Frondudo, who came out of the fray. It's Adrian on the ice. Hit off the skate of Frondudo, it looked like. Almost directed on goal. Skirts right along the blue line. Five-on-5 hockey with 18-15 in the third. It's Price. Plays it off for Millette. Waiting for numbers. Back to the point with Larkin. Shot off the leg of Crom. Up the wall for Crom, who stabbed at it, but kept in again by Larkin at the point. Tukane flips it away. Kandurka trying to cancel out the icing. Don't think he'll be able to, but the referees wave it off. And there's McIsaac. McIsaac's going at it with Millette, and they're gonna go. It's not gonna last that long as Dave McIsaac sent out there for a shift, didn't even notice, and his jersey is fully off. Still wanting a piece of Reggie Millette, trying to fight through the referees. Getting his money's worth. There you can see his face. A good look there. Just an amoeba of jerseys tangled up together. Rivers entering the circle now. McIsaac's jersey halfway off. We'll throw it back on, and is he gonna get an early shower, or is he just gonna head to the sin bin? It's gonna be the former. Dave McIsaac, his 5th separate FPHL UHL, EPHL, whatever league, whatever season. So many chapters in hat trick's history. There's the hit, and tried to lay the body on Millette. McIsaac, failed to mention earlier, he won a NCAA championship with the University of Maine back in the mid-90s. Had a lengthy AHL career before joining the Hat Tricks. With the Phantoms, also in Lowell, Kentucky, Hershey, and also with the Wolfpack in Hartford. Remember, said he was a player assistant coach in his last season. Another look at it here, right along the backboards. Head coach of the Mad Hatters for one season, head coach of the Hat Tricks back in 21-22. So we're waiting for the officiating crew to sort this out as they continue to show the replay in the arena. The referee's looking at the tablet for claims of an elbow being thrown during the entire sequence. There's a couple shots from Millette. And after that, it's pretty hard to see through all the chaos, all the bodies in there. We'll continue to look at this. 17:34 remaining in the third period. Hat Tricks power play ended as they started on the 5-on-4 to begin this period. Oh for 5 on the night after getting 2 power play goals last night. So the officials now skating over to the Hat Tricks bench to give an explanation to MJ Markle, Johnny Ruiz, and John Krapinski. It's Chris Montalvo there explaining things at the home team bench, and you've seen the replay a bunch of times. You can be your own judge here. The jersey immediately comes off when McIsaac begins. You have to think about such an extended stoppage here. Caden Fennell off screen, just going to speak with Kyle Penton, just having a chat with him, making sure he's staying fresh, and he can get cold just sitting around here for a while. Him and Bork. Be curious to see if there's anything there in the first couple minutes. Test the goaltender as they try to settle back into the game. And they're on the scoreboard in the arena. There's a double minor issued to Reggie Millette. Gonna wait for the officials to confirm that. Unofficially, what they have on the board here in the arena. A 4-minute double minor on Millette, who was the one that McIsaac laid the hit on, who in his first shift had a bit of a shouting match with as he left the ice. And now the referees will go back into the center ice box. Sitting in the Port Huron penalty box right now is number 61, Justin Jamer. one of the more recent rookie signings. Came over by way of Adrian College. We're going to take a very quick break, folks, and be back hopefully with an explanation here from our officiating crew watching the Hat Tricks on the Hat Tricks Digital Network. Back at the Danbury Ice Arena. Referees seem to have finally sorted this penalty situation out with Dave McIsaac and Reggie Millette. Players waiting to see where the face-off will take place. It's going to be right outside the Prowlers' end. Adrian and Graham in to take the face-off. And the Hat Tricks will be on the 5-on-4. Double minor issued to Reggie Millette. We'll confirm whether it's a game misconduct. At the moment, it does look like that, as Justin Jamer is serving the penalty in the box for number 79, Millette. 28 seconds off with that whistle. So Dave McIsaac issued a 5-minute major for fighting, along with an equipment violation and continuing alteration. The Hat Tricks finally get set up here in the offensive zone. Rupsov, shot pass, low, but bounces back up for Rivers. He tries to cycle deep. It's sent back down. 3:05 on the double minor. And Reggie Millette with a 10-minute game misconduct himself. That is confirmed by the officials for continuing altercation. Tie up behind the net, and Larkin, maybe a cross check here or a boarding. It's going to be a 5-on-3. We'll wait to make sure that there aren't any more players going to the box, and it is John Larkin. So both rookies spending time in the box. One just serving for a teammate, and Larkin joining him for an infraction. Goes without saying, best chance of the night for the Hat Tricks to find a tying goal. It would not be a Hat Tricks Prowlers game without a lot of penalties. Prowlers towards the top of the Fed in terms of penalty minutes per game, about 30 per contest. There's a glove save from Bork off the shot from Rivers. Another offensive zone draw win. Rupsov one-timer. Squeeze tight. So it was a cross-checking minor on Larkin. And there's Julian Frazier, who's made his way right behind the Prowlers bench. Was up in the suite in the first period and has made his way to the rowdiest section of the arena. Rolls out into the neutral zone. Rivers will pop it over to Chernyuk, and Rupsov will enter yet again. Rimmed around, Rivers. Plenty of space here on the 5-on-3. Shot hit off front, Dudo. Chernyuk walks in, shoots, scores! Konstantin Chernyuk ties it up, 2-2. He's the power play rainmaker this weekend. Konstantin Chernyuk, his third power play goal of the weekend. This one tying it up for the hat tricks. What an addition he has been since coming over from Watertown in late February, the trade with Rico Gonzalez. Now his 5th goal for the hat tricks in 12 games. It's 11 points in 12 games, almost a point per game clip. And it will stay 5-on-3. So even the Larkin penalty will not cancel out with a goal. Santoro walking in, shot. Not held immediately. Bork had trouble with the catch. Chernyuk with a tying goal. Sosinski left it for Friedman. No one was there. You can tell this crowd is riled up after the McIsaac fight and altercation. This is a tense building. Friedman gains the line, drops it off for Crom. Sosinski. Off the wall for Crom. 2 college teammates. Sosinski broke his stick. Lockhart down the left wing, challenging Sosinski, who doesn't have a twig. He does what he can to tie up Bucell. Friedman trying to fill down the right wing. Santoro shot blockered and into the netting with 14:23. Chernyuk ties it up again for the 2nd straight game. A power play goal in the 3rd period for Konstantin Chernyuk. It's 2-2 between the hat tricks and the Prowlers. Still some time on the power play left for Danbury when we come back.
Raise a glass to locally crafted spirits at Litchfield Distillery. Enjoy free tours and tastings of our award-winning spirits, including bourbon, rye, gin, and ready-to-drink cocktails. Open daily with tours on the hour. Book your spot at litchfielddistillery.com. Litchfield Distillery, batch by batch. Craving a craft beer escape? Come to Reverie Brewing Company in Newtown, where every pint is brewed with passion and flavor. Catch a rotating tap list, enjoy food trucks almost every day, and join us for live events and good times. Visit reveriebrewing.com for our menu, hours, and upcoming events. Reverie Brewing, don't quit your daydream. In the mood for a sweet treat? Visit Twister's Ice Cream Cafe in New Fairfield. Enjoy 32 delicious homemade ice cream and Italian ice flavors, including rotating specials. Plus, catch Twisters at all Danbury Hat Tricks home games this season. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
2-2 hat tricks and Prowlers. 4 seconds left on the Larkin penalty, which will bring us back to 5-on-4. Face-off win by the hat tricks. Quickly sent back down. 35 seconds left on the Millette double minor. Oops, backhanded over. Adrian. Rupsov back up for Rivers along the half wall. Adrian almost found some space in the circle there. Chernyuk walking in again. Shot off a leg. It's Alexander that time on the block. Frondudo behind the net. Bouncing. Rupsov couldn't get it out of his skates. pinballed around there for a second. Jamer out of the box, 5-on-5. Pass low for Crom and had his stick tied up. Chance Adrian again. He hasn't scored tonight. 8 points in his last 5 entering the evening. That one's caught by Bork. But the resurgence he has had after starting a little quiet to start his hat tricks career. Came over in mid-February in the Noah Robinson trade and has really blossomed in recent weeks. He had 2 goals last Saturday in the win over Binghamton. That one's 6-4. Couple high-scoring games the last 2, 6-4 and 7-5. This one more low-scoring, as you'd expect, against a team with such an impressive defensive record in the Prowlers. A lot of bodies down low. It's Danbury who takes a spill right in the crease. And Bork covers. Slow to get up was Federley. He's back up on his skates, 13-13 remaining in the third. Five power play goals for Cherniuk on the season across his 3 stops with PD, Watertown, and Danbury. It's 3 this weekend for him. All coming in the third period, either down or tied. Marty down the left wing. Overtaken, Kandurka with some space to break out. Ahead of Crom. Jamer got the stick. He's tangled up with Crom as he tries to battle for it, outnumbered. The giveaway, left circle shot blocked. Getting low was Lockhart there. Jamer enters. Got tied up with Rivers. Dumped back in. Broken stick there in the corner. I think that was maybe Sosinski's. Well, that broke on the opposite end of the ice. Alexander navigating pressure, under 12 minutes to go in the third period. Cherniuk's power play goals tied it up here as the Hat Tricks try to make it 3 straight wins heading into the final weekend. Some space, backhand shot, save. Patted aside. Cleared out by Graham. Taken right back by Tukane and Fennell. High off the glass, bouncing. As Tukane evades Bork. And icing sends it back down towards Kyle Penton. He's given up 2 goals tonight. His last 3 starts, he'd only given up 1 goal in each of those 3 games. Had been playing spectacular and had been playing a lot. Before the 2 games that Aiden Pierce started, Kyle Penton had played in 38 of the last 39 periods in 13 straight games. Bouncing puck, Organ tried to crouch down, instead gave it away to Rupsov on the pass. Tukane across looking for Rupsov, is hounded by Parsons. Loose puck down to the low slot front. Dudo racing in, and all Bork can do is freeze the puck. Second line back on with Frandudo, Rupsov, and Santoro. Well, Rupsov has had a lot of ice time tonight, especially with all the power play time that the hat tricks have had. Sosinski's shot blocked. He'll catch and keep it along the wall. Players tangle up. Santoro with some room left point. Down low for Frandudo. He'll cycle it back for Santoro. And almost trickled in there. Boy, the puck disappeared for half a second. Bork finds it. Third period shots, hat tricks 10, Prowlers 0. Unfamiliar territory for a hat tricks team that has been outshot by quite a lot in recent games, especially last Saturday night. Another glove save from Bork. Really putting the Prowlers defense under some pressure halfway through period 3. Chernyuk's power play goal at 4:21. All stemming from Dave McIsaac's scrum with Reggie Millette. Both players getting a game misconduct. And a double minor against Millette. Set up the hat tricks on the power play, and they find the tying goal. Again, Bork forced to cover. Looking ahead for Port Huron. They've got a home series versus the Watertown Wolves to wrap up their campaign. Back home for the final 2. Danbury will have a home and home with Binghamton. Home Friday for the home finale. And then on the road Saturday night. Off the backboards, bounced back into the crease. Still loose, nobody can find it. It's Watson behind the net. Chernyuk with a drive. Handled by Bork. All hat tricks right now, and the fans know it. Back up the wall, flipped back deep again by Sosinski. He'll go off for a change. Pickford on, and a penalty. Looks like it's going to be against Kurt Watson, the rookie. Going to the box. 9:47 to go in the third. An exciting period so far. Hat tricks have tied it up for the Prowlers on the power play when we come back.
Upgrade your home with Buzz-8 Appliance, your trusted source for top brand appliances and expert service. We've got the selection and knowledge to help you find the perfect fit. Visit our showrooms in Danbury and Brookfield or shop online at buzz8appliance.com. Buzz-8 Appliance, where quality meets dependability. Discover fresh quality and unbeatable value at Carluzzi's, your family-owned grocery market. We've got everything you need under one roof. Proudly serving Danbury and surrounding communities. Visit carluzzi's.com for weekly specials. Carluzzi's, where quality meets community. Hungry? Chick-fil-A has you covered in Brookfield on Federal Road and inside the Danbury Fair Mall. From the original chicken sandwich to fresh salads and nuggets, enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner your way. The perfect way to feed your family. Chick-fil-A, great food, friendly service. Craving something sweet? Treat yourself at Peach Wave of Bethel. Choose from a variety of...
Quick start back to the second half of the third period. Prowlers on the power play looking to retake their lead that they held through most of the second period. Price shot, deflected low, sprawling out is Kyle Penton, earning a whistle. Again, players getting tangled up. It's Simonchek. Alex Johnson, the man down. Here's a replay. Shot from Price, top of the left circle. And Penton sprawled out to find the debris. And then behind the net, Simonchek Gonna go to the box. An inopportune time to go on the 5-on-3. Hat tricks have had a couple chances on the 5-on-3, now giving the Prowlers their own time. Here, 2 players up. And it's going to be a long one, as both penalties committed, only 16 seconds between. It'll be 5-on-3 for 1:44, and then 16 seconds of 5-on-4 after the Watson penalty expires. They've held the Prowlers off on the penalty kill so far tonight. The biggest challenge yet. Matt Graham, the player coach, directing traffic before the face-off. Got Alexander and Hakela to his left. Grayson Dietrich on his right. There's a tie-up in the circle. Handled by the Prowlers. 5-on-3. Dietrich. Alexander. Dietrich. Fake shot. Larkin. They'll switch spots. Dietrich. One-timer wide. Just zips past the post. Crom quickly off Kanderka. One of these core penalty-killing forwards. Onto the ice with Sosinski and Pickford. Another one-timer, glove save! Flashing the leather, Kyle Penton. He has not been tested at all this period. It started 10-0 in shots in favor of the Hat Tricks. Now, still only 14-2. Factor in that extended break for the McIsaac conundrum. And Kyle Penton has managed to stay sharp and focused, even with these extended breaks. 50 seconds left of 5-on-3. Larkin slicing through the slot. He'll circle back to the right point. Larkin lost the puck. Recollected by Dietrich. Alexander low, Larkin. One-timer, again, just goes wide. Dietrich trying to line up that 1T. Graham. Larkin will spin. Dietrich and Larkin. Alexander, Dietrich. Low for Alexander, out of his skates. Pressure behind the net by Sosinski, 10 seconds. Kurt Watson's gonna be rushing out of the penalty box. Dietrich, low, Alexander, tight angle. Saved and cleared into the neutral zone. Huge round of applause as Watson comes racing out to put some pressure on. Both teams changing, almost a hiccup there. It's Desmarais entering the zone, but just off sides. Only 5 seconds left on the Simonchik penalty, and the Hat Tricks should be out of the woods. Neither of these teams excel on the power play particularly. 11th and 12th out of 14 teams in the Fed. The Hat Tricks find the one on the double minor via Chernyuk. Simonchik out of the box, 5-on-5 with 7:25 remaining in the period. This arena is energized for a fan base whose team was eliminated last night. No real stakes, but of course, anytime these two teams faced off, especially in recent years, there's always something on the line. On the puck is Bucell, 3-on-2. Left wing, quick shot Jamer, gloved by Penton, 6:57. A look at it again. Quickly moving back to his forehand, get a wrist shot off. 30-16 shots for Danbury. Even with that 5-on-3 spell for Port Huron. They registered a ton of shots. Oregon shot wide. Kept into the zone by Price and cycled deep. Alexander. Shot maybe caught somebody through the traffic. Friedman banked off the boards. Right back in with Marty. Offensive zone time has sustained even after we've returned to even strength. That one just kept in by Parsons. Lining up a one-timer was Price. Flanell sent into the boards. Friedman trying to go 1-on-3. Tie up at the red line. Santoro with the puck. Slips around one. At the point, Tukane's shot didn't reach the net. Overtaken. Pass to the far side. Frondudo was there. It was Rupsov with the pass. Dietrich cycles up. Federley pushes it back. Quick pass for Santoro. Long time on the ice for this second line. Rupsov and Santoro off. Third line on. Kandurka, Desmarais, and Crom. Heading towards the 5-minute mark. Tied up 2 apiece. A great battle this has been. Hat-tricks looking for their 3rd straight win. Heading towards the season's end. Offsides there. You think about where a goal could come from, and Eli Rivers has only played 2 games for the Hat-tricks versus Port Huron, but remember, he spent last season with Motor City, and as a rookie, he put up a lot of numbers against Port Huron for the Rockers. 14 points in 15 games total. So he is very familiar with this Port Huron group. We've seen him a couple times on the puck, almost had that breakaway after forcing the D-zone turnover. Tie up near corner, Desmarais scoops it out. Bussell will navigate behind his net and lead the break. Alexander gains the line. Laid off for Price, backhand deep, shot, score! Price gives the Prowlers a 1-goal lead. 4:35 to go in the 3rd. Alexander just dropping it off. And a deke from Price beats Kyle Penton. Price's 28th goal on the season. He leads the Prowlers in both goals and points. He has been a thorn in the Hat-trick side, even dating back to last year's playoff series. 10 points in these 8 games since that April first-round battle. Hat-tricks again, down a goal. Big collision at the blue line. Looks like it was Rivers who fell to the ice. He's slow to get up. And Chance Adrian defending his teammate and his line mate. Not letting Parsons get away with that. We'll step aside and tell you how that fray shook out in terms of penalties when we come back.
It's time for a tasty, gooey treat. Crumble Cookies in Danbury has the freshest, warmest cookies around. With 6 new gourmet cookie flavors every week, there's always a reason to treat yourself. For the latest flavors and updates, visit crumblecookies.com/Danbury. Visit Danbury Duckpin Bowling Lanes for family fun. Enjoy the classic charm of duckpin bowling with 16 lanes, including a private party room. perfect for kids' parties, senior leagues, and casual play. Open daily with affordable rates and a welcoming atmosphere. Visit DanburyDuckPin.com to reserve your lane today. Looking for a bank that puts you first? Visit Fairfield County Bank, serving Connecticut since 1871. With 17 local branches, we offer personal and business banking, mortgages, insurance, and investment services, all with a personal touch. Visit Fairfield County.
Back here at the DIA, waiting for an explanation on that most recent skirmish. One player in the box for each team. It's Adrian and looks like Brian Parsons. Uh, 5-minute majors for fighting for both of them. In addition to that, folks, we've got a 2-minute minor to go with it, and the Hat Tricks are going to go on the power play. They'll go on the power play, again, looking for a tying goal. The 2-minute minor is on R2 Hakala, likely off that collision with Eli Rivers. We'll see how they score it. Again, big opportunity on the power play to find a tying goal. Behind with Frondudo, Prowler lost a stick. Kept in by Chernyuk at the right point. Whiffing as Rivers clears the zone. It's Graham out on the penalty kill. He had the second goal. They gave the Prowlers their first lead in the second. Rivers back in. Swung around for Frondudo. Cycled back the other way, bouncing behind the net. As players come together, 45 seconds through the 2-minute minor. Shot, score! So nice, he had to do it twice. Chernyuk with 2 power play goals in consecutive nights in the third period. A scrum behind the net, it spills out to the slot up high near the point. And Chernyuk does it again. Here it is again. It's passed out to Chernyuk. Looked like it was Rupsov on the pass. And this team is energized. They have, on paper, nothing to play for. They're eliminated from the playoffs. They can't really spoil anybody else's playoff hopes. The Prowlers are solidly locked into the 2 seed. Looking ahead, the Binghamton Black Bears are definitely locked into the 1 seed. They have home ice clinched all throughout the FPHL playoffs if they reach another Commissioner's Cup Finals. And despite all that, this team continues to fight, which gives you hope for next season if this organization can hold on to some of these guys for 2026, 2027. Bouncing in the circle, shot blocked. Frondudo with it. Crom with another shot, patted away. Hat Tricks with the major shots on goal advantage this period, but a odd man rush for the Prowlers. Bucell, shot, pad save. Kyle Penton up to task. Behind the net, Danbury will change. Out near the red line, Alexander trying to handle the puck. He'll flip it over for Alex Johnson. 3-3, heading towards the 2-minute mark. No overtime games between the Hat Tricks and Prowlers this season. And a big "Let's Go Hat Tricks" chant ringing down from the stands. Jamer tied up by Friedman at the point. Still with Port Huron in the offensive zone. And a chip clear only as far as Johnson, right near the red line. 16-8 shots on goal for Danbury this period. They lead 32-22. And fans wanting a whistle. Thrown cross ice. Graham, pass down low. Couldn't find a teammate. Chopped over now, centering. Stick from Chernyuk. Rolling towards the blue line and kept in by Lockhart. Crazy bounces off the top of the boards. And as Friedman escapes, they'll throw it to the opposite corner. Reinforcements on for Danbury. Rondudo kicks. Rupsaw flutters into the far corner. Under 50 seconds. Will we see overtime? Final 40 seconds. One of the best nights of the year in Danbury hockey. Alumni night, the Ring of Honor induction, and we have got quite the show this evening. Alexander, Marty back for Alexander. Looking to return the favor. Puck loose down low. Alexander behind the net, goes for the wraparound. Other side, sprawling was Penton. But Marty's shot could not test the goaltender. 7 seconds. No icing. It's sent back up ice. But that'll be it for period number 3. We'll get some free hockey on this Saturday night. 3-3 Hat Tricks and Prowlers. An exciting third period here in Danbury. A look at Julian Frazier, one of the 3 players honored in tonight's ceremony. And he's shouting towards the Hat Tricks bench, giving them some words of encouragement before this overtime period. Quick break, and we'll be back for some overtime hockey when we come back.
Remember when a night out didn't break the bank? When fun was simple, social, and full of laughter? Bowling is still that place. Affordable, timeless, and made for everyone. Get more laughs per dollar bowling at Spins Bowl.
Danbury Ice Arena, 3-3 Hat Tricks and Prowlers. What a great game we've had tonight on such an occasion. A couple of players getting inducted into the Ring of Honor. And despite the Hat Tricks being eliminated from playoff contention last night, they have showed up big time and delivered an excellent performance against a playoff team. Friedman, Rivers, and Chernyuk, the 3 on for the Hat Tricks. Danbury 4-5 after regulation. 2-2 in overtime and 2-3 in the shootout. Chernyuk 1-on-1, looking for a hat trick. 2 straight nights with 2 goals in the third period, all 4 coming on the power play in similar spots. Alexander enters 1-on-1, pressured from behind and taken away. Eli Rivers, he scored his first hat trick goal in overtime on January 9th. Price shot blocked. A game of cat and mouse here to try to work an odd man rush. How many players do you send up? Down ice. You play it conservative. Greg Sosinski is on for Cherniuk. Grady Friedman trusted as one of the three, only in his 8th game with the hat tricks. Lockhart pickpocketed. Greg Sosinski down the right wing. Off the skate of Rivers. One-timer. Trickled in and scored! This kid cannot stop scoring. It's Grady Friedman, an overtime winner, and the hat tricks win a dramatic 4-3 game over the Port Huron Prowlers. The Captain America celebration. Grady Friedman, his 6th goal in 7 games. Thought it was 8, it's 7 games for Grady Friedman, the Curry College product. I think the Hat Tricks fans are hoping that they can lock this guy down for this upcoming October and next season. Well, they'll gather together at the center circle. No question who it will be. It's going to be Konstantin Cherniuk, the guy who's gotten them through these 2 third periods. They'll give the barrel a spin, and the Hat Tricks have won 3 straight. So much hope in the air in the building tonight. What an occasion. 3 Danbury greats getting honored. Frank Bialowas, Julian Frazier into the Ring of Honor. Steve Brown, his name in the rafters forever. And the Danbury Hat Tricks deliver a spectacle. Down 3-2 with 4 minutes left. Konstantin Cherniuk finds a tying goal 1 minute and 10 seconds after Bobby Price had given the Prowlers a 3-2 lead. His 2nd power play goal of the 3rd period in back-to-back nights. I cannot think of a more specific yet so crucial statistic this season. Kyle Penton with the win in net. Hat Tricks out shooting the Prowlers by double digits. They improved to 20, 24, 5, and 5. Add an overtime win to the 4th column. 75 points on the year, still locked into 5th place. They won't be continuing their season after next Saturday. That should not spoil what tonight has been. 2 games against Binghamton next weekend, 1 home on Friday, and the season finale on the road on Saturday. The Prowlers fall to 29, 17, 2, and 6. Still in 2nd place, locked into that position. They'll play either Blue Ridge or Topeka in the 1st round of the Empire Division playoffs. Last couple players leave the ice. Looks like it's going to be Grady Friedman being interviewed post-game. A big hug from Johnny Ruiz. Port Huron has Watertown for 2 games at home to finish off their season. And that's where we will sign off for the night. A thriller in Danbury. It ends 4-3 Hat Tricks. An overtime winner from Grady Friedman. Hat Tricks will be back in action next Friday night on home ice for the last time this season. You won't want to miss it. Hopefully we'll see you here in person, but if not, catch us here on the Hat Tricks Digital Network. For our entire production team, Patrick Grudberg signing off again. Hat Tricks 4, Prowlers 3.